All right, yo, welcome to Gametime Grind. We back at it again with another episode. Today, our guest is Andy, a co-founder and co-owner of Underground Magazine.
What
So,
up?
we happy to have him here today. And we're going to break down some playoff bracket for you guys and, talk about some recent things that have happened in the NBA. And I think this is going to be a good one today. So let's get into it.
And yeah, it's the best time of the year right now. This is my favorite time of the year, that late April, right when the NBA playoffs are starting. We just had the Masters.
Yep.
It's the
Oh,
best
you're a
time
golf
of the
guy
year.
too?
I am
you
actually.
You rock with golf?
I do. I'm not like the biggest golf guy. It's definitely basketball, football, number one, two. I think like yourself, but I pay attention to the big golf tournaments.
Okay.
They're fun. They're
Because the
fun.
Masters is the biggest of the biggest, right?
It
as
is.
Far as like golf goes?
Yes, I
Okay.
believe so. It's the biggest.
The green jacket. You got a green jacket, you're a big dog in the golf game, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And golf, the reason it's interesting is because like the players have such long careers. Like we
You
got
can play
somebody
that shit till you're like 56.
even older.
Yeah, that's just
Competitive. There's some guys playing that are like 60 plus that have been just in the spotlight for 40
Mickelson,
years.
What's his name?
Yeah, Phil Mickelson. I don't
Okay.
know how old he is, but he's definitely like
But he's
60
definitely
plus.
he's old as hell, but he's still like pretty competitive, right?
He
Within
is,
the
he is.
golf world.
He's doing his thing.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not too educated on golf, so I don't want to. I don't want to get too far into it. Maybe next time I'll up my knowledge on the golf game.
Yeah, maybe we'll get Kai to take us out to like
Top
Augusta or Top Golf, something like
we've
that.
done that. Top golf is dope. Top golf is dope as hell. Okay, so let's start with Trae Young's ejection last night. Did you watch the games last night?
I did. I watched the game.
7 and 8 seed?
I did. I caught, especially, I saw more of this, the Hawks game. Because the Hawks Magic are one of my favorite teams that we got in the league right now.
Really?
So I was
Why is
paying
that?
attention. I just love Paolo, first of
Okay,
all.
Banchero.
Yes, one of my favorite players, super versatile, like the body of like a LeBron James,
Yeah.
gonna take over the league, I think. But I also like Trae Young as well. A lot of cool kind of
Dope-ass
storylines going on in that playing game.
Nutmegging everybody in the league.
Yeah, exactly. I like that whole energy,
All right. Okay, so how did you feel about the ejection? Did you feel it was rightful for them to like eject him in that moment?
I would say yes. I think that the score at the time of the ejection, the
didn't
score
even matter.
difference, it didn't really matter to where I have a problem with refs and ejections and things like that is when that decides a game. When they're ejecting a player when it's close game with a minute left or 2 minutes left.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's where I could have a problem with it. In terms of this ejection, I think it's justified. Trae Young, he was toying around with the ref. It's plays. You can't really do that. I think he knew he had the extra game in him. But what do you think? Did you agree with the refs there?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would have to because he was kind of doing it blatantly. He was looking for that ejection. He knew he had just gotten his technical. He had just gotten teed up, and he continued with the kind of like the tantrum, I guess, if you want to call it that. So yeah, definitely he was asking for it. So I got to agree with the refs in that situation. He was definitely just like, get me the fuck out of this game already.
Yeah,
Like, he didn't even want to be there no more.
Especially
So
in today's
they got him the
NBA.
fuck out of there.
If this was like early 2000s, I could see Kobe doing the same thing, not
And he
getting
wouldn't- yeah,
ejected.
not getting ejected, but that's a different caliber of player.
It is. It's a
not-
different
they
caliber.
don't have that same status in the. Trae Young is a big time, but he's not Kobe. He's not a LeBron. He's not a Luka. You get me? He's not going to get the same type of leniency with the refs that these superstars are going to get. He's not a superstar. He's a star, but he's not a superstar, in my opinion.
I would agree with you because, it's all in tiers, the superstar level. Like, if we're talking tier one, we're talking the Jokic's, the Giannis's, the
LeBrons, the Lukas.
the Luka. I would say LeBron a little. He's more in that tier 2, tier 3 at this
Really?
point.
Nah.
I would.
I think he's just already cemented himself as a superstar.
Definitely,
Like,
of course,
I don't
of
see
course.
that caliber diminishing at all. Like he's gonna go down as one of the greatest of all, like top 2, top 3.
Of course. I first off, I have LeBron as my number one. Of course.
really?
I do. But I just mean in terms of right now, like in impact players,
Yeah.
there's more guys that I'd probably want to have than LeBron.
Okay.
But thinking of Hawks, sticking on the Hawks, I got something that interested me. I think like kind of the biggest maybe takeaway or like overarching storyline maybe
Yeah.
is like this is a offseason for Trae Young that he's expressed a disinterest in staying in Atlanta. There's been some just kind of ongoing tension with him and the Hawks. I think one of the teams that was maybe in the market for maybe getting him was Orlando.
Okay.
Orlando last night. If you were the owner or the GM or whatever of Orlando, and you were thinking that maybe this offseason we had Trae Young, and you just watched the game that Trae Young just had against your team, where he got ejected, they lost by 20. How would you feel? Do you feel like that maybe he's still
the game changer?
Yeah,
I mean, you wouldn't really feel that way in that situation. You're like, we already whooped his ass without him on our team, and we beat him by 20. You would definitely, as ownership, you would look at him as like, maybe that's not the it factor that we need right now. Maybe that's not going to be our game changer, So, definitely, he might have just hurt his chances of ending up at Orlando. But I think anybody, like, there's still so many teams out there that'll be more than glad to take Trae Young, a young Trae Young right now. So I think his destination is still gonna be in his hands to a certain extent. He'll be able to decide where he wants to go. Because anybody will be glad to have him. I think most teams would be glad to have a Trae Young. That was just a bad performance yesterday. I don't think that tells the whole story of Trae Young. I think last night was just a bad performance, in my opinion. And I'm more of a Trae Young supporter than a Paolo Banchero supporter. So that's why we might, kind of disagree there. But let's move on to the Nico Harrison, bro.
Okay.
His comments in that media, that phony-ass media day that he had with no cameras, but yet he had all the media there that he knew was going to come outside and tell us everything that he said in that meeting. So him saying he has no regrets about Luka, that defense wins championships. Yeah. What the hell is this guy thinking, bro? Can you explain that to me?
So my issues with those recent comments is like, I get that if you're gonna make a decision, let's put ourselves in Nico's shoes here for a second.
Let's go for a second.
If we're making this decision, you got to stand by it, right? There's an extent you got to stand by it. It's pretty objectively a bad trade. You lost this trade. It looks bad on you. I think right then and there, the type of comment that you need to say is something like, you know what? Trades are determined long term. We're not going to judge it yet. We had some injuries that we didn't know were going to happen, and we're ready for next year. But instead, kind of doubling down on kind of the shit talk and specifically just like the defenseman's change, all that. It's just a terrible look. Yeah. I would hate it. I'm glad I'm not a Mavs fan. I don't know many Mavs fans. I feel
bad for the Mavs fans. I literally do too. I kind of felt bad for them. Like watching them have to watch that tribute video that they made for Luka. They're like literally Mavs fans were in tears, bro. They were in tears watching this shit, bro. And it's just crazy for him. Like what, 5-6 days after they did that tribute to Luka, now he's gonna double down and say, I have no regrets about trading Luka. Bro, you just saw your fan base in tears watching this tribute video to Luka, and you're gonna say some shit like that. He's insane. In my opinion, he's like, they got to get rid of that guy.
Do you know about the whole conspiracy about the Mavericks and Vegas and all this?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, so
I'll briefly. Not too many people know this. Go ahead.
So
I'll let you speak on it, though.
I think the way that I kind of understand it is that like the new ownership of the Mavs, like most people know Mark Cuban, he owned the Mavs for a long time. He kind of all of a sudden sold the team last year, like out of the blue, to this new group, like the Adelsons, I think is their last name. This older husband wife.
They're known for realty. They're known for casinos and real estate.
Yes.
They're not known for owning NBA teams or anything in the sports world. They're literally just realtors and casino people.
Big Vegas people, casinos.
Their billions. They've made their billions that way.
And so kind of looming right now is this whole concept of a new NBA expansion team in Vegas. And so kind of the whole idea is that originally they were trying to get that. I've heard all alongside this that the NBA didn't sell it to them or isn't giving it to them because they're waiting for LeBron to retire and give it to LeBron or allow him to buy it. Then in the meantime,
the Las Vegas market. They want LeBron to own the Las Vegas market, is what you're saying.
I think so. I think somewhere along the line, someone thought it'd be better if LeBron or somebody else owned it. Yeah. So eventually, the Adelsons, they ended up settling by buying the only team that they could is the Mavericks. Yeah. Boom. basically they own that team right now, and the whole idea is to upset the fan base so much that they're able to move to Las Vegas or move or something. I don't know. That's kind of the extent I understand.
So I'll elaborate a little bit because I'm actually a pretty educated on this topic as well. So what happened was she actually wanted to build a new stadium in Dallas. The new owners wanted to build a new stadium in Dallas with a casino attached to the NBA stadium.
Okay.
So they wanted a casino in the middle of Dallas within the stadium of the Dallas Mavericks. The city denied their request to build this casino / new stadium. And because they were denied the request, they said, okay, then what we'll do is just take the Mavericks and move them to Las Vegas. Las Vegas was obviously open to that idea, but apparently Congress, again, the Dallas Congress or the Dallas whatever, they stopped that from happening as well. They said, you can't take the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas loves this team.
Yeah,
Dallas loves Luka. So in her, this is, obviously, this part is more of a conspiracy theory. So they say that in order for her to lose that fan base support, she got rid of their favorite fucking player. Get rid of Luka then. I don't even care. Because they don't want to give me what I want, so I don't want to give these people what they want. Send Luka away, and then potentially now, without that fan base backing them, they could potentially, get that team moved and build a new stadium in Las Vegas with a casino attached to it. Because obviously Las Vegas isn't turning down any casino ideas,
Yeah,
It's
they're
Vegas,
ready for it.
They're ready for all that shit. So, yeah, that was my take on it. That's what I had heard about that topic. But
okay, yeah, and honestly, I would say Nico's comments only almost helps aid in that whole theory. It's like he keeps pissing the fans off. He keeps acting arrogant in the situation. It's never getting better. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And
definitely.
I'm just glad that we're on the other side of that trade.
Yeah, absolutely. What? Oh, definitely, bro. Because I'm happy. I even last one I shot, I was like, thank you, Nico. I literally shouted out Nico because I was like, I'm not mad at him because he gave us the best dude in the NBA. Like long run, I think he's gonna go down as one of the greatest. So let's move on to the playoff bracket. This is gonna be the longest segment.
Let's do it.
We're gonna go step by step. I'll let you start where you want to start.
Let's start on the East. Let's start on the Eastern Conference.
Okay.
Let's start with the 1 and the 8 seed.
Okay, 1 and 8 seed. Who do you think is going to come into the 8 seed? Because as of right now, the 8 seed hasn't been decided.
This is tough, right? Okay. I mean, this is tough. I'm gonna predict that despite the Trae Young slander we were talking earlier, I think the Hawks will move out of it. I think they're a better team, more complete team, I guess, than Chicago, than Miami, just because Trae, he's the type that I think he would bounce back from a game like that. Yeah. Come back, at least win one game here.
And he's at home now. He's
at home. That's a good point.
He's on his home court. So that always helps. Now he's not going to have to deal with the fans yelling bullshit at him. And, everybody's going to be on his side for the most part,
That's true. Yeah. That's true. He has the home court advantage,
Okay. So I agree with you on that one. Definitely agree with you on that one. I won't even add nothing to that. I'll let that be. I'll let that be both of our takes on that one.
Even though, shout out to my guy Jaime Jaquez Jr. On the Miami Heat. Nice. He's from
Mexican, right?
He is. Yeah. I believe he was born in California, but he's of Mexican
descent. Yeah.
And he is actually an official 805er. He's from Camarillo.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he's from Camarillo, which is
where the outlets is at.
Right by the outlets. Yeah. He went to Cam High School, which was like the high school right next to mine. Okay. But by the time I was a freshman in college when he was a freshman in high school, so I never actually played against him.
Oh, okay.
Nor have I ever met him. But shout out to Jaime. Maybe he can get it done, man, for the 805.
Yeah, who knows? That'll be dope. That'll be dope. So assuming that the Hawks move into the 8th seed or stay in the 8th seed. Cavaliers and Hawks would be the matchup. How do you see that one going?
I think the Cavaliers are obviously a dominant team. They're dominant for a reason.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of clicking at the right time for them.
Bro.
They have the they have the defense to.
They have a tall ass team, bro.
They do. They have
their
a tall
team. Is like it's insane, bro. Like you can't even get nowhere with their wingspans and just like trying to get the ball through them is insane, bro. Their defense is out of this world. And then Donovan Mitchell, bro.
Exactly.
Fucking insane.
Donovan Mitchell, at best, even if we get great Trae Young games for 4 or 5 games, Garland is going to cancel him out.
Yeah.
And then the Cavs win every other matchup.
And
Mobley is going to get 20 rebounds a game.
Yeah. Insane.
Cavs in 4, maybe 5. If Trae Young can somehow do something in like a game
Cavs
4 or something.
We gonna do it. Cavs in 5.
Yeah, exactly. Cavs in 5. Baby.
Yeah, definitely. I actually think it's gonna be a sweep. That's where I'm gonna go with it. I think it's gonna be a sweep. Cavs versus anybody, whether it's the Bulls, Heat, or the Hawks. Whichever team comes out into that 8th seed, I don't see the Cavs struggling with any of those teams at all. It's just such a big gap between them, bro. Look, 18 losses, and the next best team has 42. Bro, they were dominating. This whole year they were dominating. I just don't see that changing at all, especially now when the intensity is going to rise. You get me? And Donovan Mitchell has already done it so many times.
Yeah, exactly. Like this Cavs team, even though it's it's kind of new, the Cavs are kind of back. They're in this 1 seed. Their players don't have a ton of experience, but they're somewhat seasoned. They've been here. Mobley's had some playoff losses. Garland's had some playoff losses. Mitchell's probably, I don't know, an 11, 12-year veteran at this point. So he's seen it. They're prepared. I think the only question is, will they even give up 1 game? Most likely a sweep for real.
Okay, sounds good. So now let's move on to 2-7. Celtics Magic.
This one's a little more interesting.
Banchero.
Yeah, this is a little more interesting. You know, the Celtics. Red hot, right? I mean, defending champion, Boston Celtics. Magic, good, solid team. They got a lot going for them. They're on the upside. I think they're 1 move away. I don't think that move is Trae Young, though. I think the Celtics, it's 4 or 5. The Celtics, they're a team that at times gives up games. Like, if you kind of look back at their last few playoffs, some of the rounds, like, you'd be surprised. Like, oh, this series against Brooklyn went to 6, or like, you know, whatever. Like, they give up games. They're a little on the older side.
Okay.
I could see the Magic winning 1, maybe 2, but the Celtics should come away on this one.
Yeah, I could see the Magic winning a 1 or 2 games against the Celtics, but if the Celtics are shooting lights out, bro, because I'm pretty sure you heard they set the record for the most threes as a whole team.
Okay, I actually didn't even know.
Yeah, they set the record for the most threes this year as a team, as a whole. You get me? But that shit was insane. They were lighting shit up, bro. From 3. When they start hitting, bro, and that boy Pritchard, Pritchard is nice. He's small as hell, but that boy could shoot the rock like nobody else, man. Well, obviously not like Steph Curry, but he's definitely a shooter.
What about thinking long term for the Celtics? Do you think that they could come out of the Eastern Conference again and make a run back at the championship, or cementing the Cavs in there?
I see the Cavs giving him the best run for their money. I definitely see the Cavs, and I actually my dark horse in the East is the Bucks, bro. Even
Giannis.
But Giannis, but Damian Lillard, is he supposed to be coming back? I actually don't know about that.
I don't think so, but honestly, I don't think it matters. Lillard, he's great and all, but they're not going to win any series unless Giannis is going crazy.
Yeah, Giannis is a bully. Giannis could take over any game at any time. You get me? And drop 50 on you, and then also play defense to where he limits your best player to freaking 15. You get me?
And he's angry right now. Like, I don't know if you've seen some recent ones. Like, you see him talking to like Malik Beasley, like
Detroit Pistons.
Yeah. Like he's mad right now, and that's exactly what you need, you know. And maybe that leads us right to our 4-5 series that we have, right? Pacers, Bucks. Pacers the 4, Bucks the 5. This is a good 4-5. This is what the 4-5s are all about, right? They sometimes turn out to be the best series.
The best series because they're so closely matched up, you know?
And like I think of this one as kind of like think of Giannis kind of standing strong, and like the Pacers, there's a few guys that are kind of swarming around him that could kind of get him. This one's tough. I honestly will end up going with the Bucks. Of course,
even without Damian.
I think
just
you
realized that because I actually completely forgot that Damian, it might be out, right? He's out.
Let me look it up.
Back anytime soon? Yeah, let's do that. Because if Damian Lillard isn't coming back into the series anytime soon, I can't rock with the Milwaukee Bucks. Because Giannis by himself, bro, not having like somebody who could shoot from the outside, who can create his own shot for the most part, because they lost. Well, they do have Kyle Kuzma too.
They got Kuzma. Shout out my guy.
Yeah.
It looks like Lillard, as of right now, this is Wednesday, April 16th. There's nothing confirmed on when he's coming back. It sounds like he's out to start the series, but they seem to be optimistic he's going to return at some point, despite not offering a clear timetable, according to ESPN. Yeah. I would say this kind of has like a Game 3 return kind of all over it. Coming back to Milwaukee, he's home.
That'd be dope.
Okay, prediction for this series. I could see Halliburton, the Pacers. They've been here. They ain't new to the.
They're not.
To the playoffs.
They made it to the second round last year, right?
Yeah. I believe they did. I'm going. Indiana's gonna win the first two in Indiana.
Okay.
Giannis is gonna be super pissed. Lillard's gonna come back. Bucks are gonna win the next two, tie it up. 2-2 going into Game 5.
Okay.
And then I see the Bucks winning the next two from there.
Okay.
A gentleman's sweep, 4-2.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah. If your assumption of Damian Lillard coming back Game 3 is correct, I'm gonna rock with the Bucks. But I would say probably might go 7 games if Damian Lillard is coming back until the third game. So that would be my assumption. But if Damian Lillard isn't a part of it, bro, I can't rock with the Bucks. I just want to put that out there. If Damian Lillard doesn't join before that fourth game,
then you think the Pacers are going to get him?
I think the Pacers would get the Bucks.
Okay.
Just based on their youth and them having more of like their complete team. You get me? And the team that has been playing together the entire season. That's why I see them being successful, because the Bucks are missing a key part of their engine. You get me? Which is Damian Lillard.
That's true. Okay, I got a question for you. Maybe bigger picture. I'm kind of just wondering, like, to me, this is like thinking about Giannis's career.
Okay.
This is probably his like 10th season, maybe even more, 11.
Yeah, I think it might be a little longer.
And at this point, we've seen one championship, not only just one title, like finals appearance, but only one finals win. I think that he's kind of getting to the point in his career where like these years are kind of passing, and his team isn't great. I don't think adding Damian Lillard was the greatest move ever. It helped, but I kind of feel like he needs to win sometime soon here. Jokic is passing on. I don't know, where does he lay to you in terms of like the
power
dominant
forwards?
Players right now? Like, I'd put Jokic above him. Would you put, how close is Wemby to him in terms of just passing?
Man, okay, so you're talking about those big men. Although I would consider Jokic a center, and I would consider Wemby a center, and I think Giannis plays more of the power.
More in that forward, yeah. But talking bigs in general,
Okay, so we'll just talk bigs. I would definitely rank him second behind Jokic right now. I would put him second behind Jokic. I don't think Wemby has done enough to surpass him. I mean, Wemby doesn't even have a championship yet.
No, not even a playoff appearance.
Or MVP. He's got, 2, right?
I believe he has
two MVPs. Yeah, there's no way I would put Wemby above him just yet. But obviously, Jokic, might get his 4th this year. It's a possibility, even though most people are leaning towards Shea. But possibility he might get his 4th. And that would be 4 back-to-back, right?
That I think it would be, right?
I'm pretty sure it would be. And that would be insane, because I believe he went back. I believe he did like a 3-peat the last year with the MVP. And that was the first time that had ever happened.
3 in a row?
Yep. Nobody has ever won 3 in a row. He was the first player to ever do that.
Actually, that's incorrect.
Is it?
Incorrect.
Okay.
I thought it was. While Jokic has won 3 of the last 4 years, 2023, Joel Embiid.
Oh, Joel Embiid won 23?
Yes.
So there was a gap between. There wasn't a 3-peat?
There wasn't a 3-peat.
Oh, okay.
But Giannis won 2 in a row. Jokic won 2 in a row. Then Embiid. Then Jokic won last year. Embiid at this point, though, has really dropped off to me. He's really dropped
Sixers
off.
Aren't even in the playoffs.
They're not. I mean, Embiid's injuries.
And Paul George, bro, got some answering to do.
He does.
He's
He
got
does.
some answering to do.
He quit it, or he stopped the podcast and everything. You saw
That's
that?
crazy. Yeah, because they all they were gonna do was roast his ass.
But like we're talking, like this is kind of more so why I bring this up about Giannis is because like if we're talking dominant bigs, I think everyone would have Jokic clearly one, Giannis
Absolutely.
2, and then Embiid has dropped I think to a deeper third. But if Giannis if he's another first round exit this year, I mean that's pretty disappointing. Like. Yeah. I think maybe drops it maybe a little closer to Embiid than to Jokic, in terms of actually separating it out. I don't know.
Definitely. I mean, obviously, if he doesn't win at least one series this year, he's definitely gonna drop his what do they call it? His
just the power
value is gonna drop.
Yeah, his
basically.
stock.
His stock. That's what I wanted to say. His stock's gonna drop. That's what I was trying to.
And he had the Bucks had a disappointing first round exit last year. There was bad injuries. I think Giannis missed like the first 2 games, but still, I want to see it. It was only a few years ago that Giannis and Middleton and these guys won a championship. I think, I mean, time flies in the NBA.
Absolutely, it does. It does. 3-6, Knicks Pistons.
This is a good one.
This one is kind of good too.
This is probably the first round series.
I think there's gonna be an upset here.
I think so too.
Kate Cunningham is gonna do some shit.
This is the East Conference series I'm definitely the most excited about. Hopefully every game is on national television. I feel like that.
Not. No, they should be though. Playoffs are usually on national television.
Yeah, usually I notice they'll take they might take that Cavs. They might take the 1-8 or the 2-7, put a couple games on NBA TV or something. But I hope Knicks Pistons are all prime time.
Yeah.
The Pistons, this is a tough team. This is a defensive. This is a grit, grind, bringing back the bad boy Piston era.
Okay.
Type of team. We got Isaiah Stewart, who's not afraid to fight anybody in the Garden.
He's talking the shit.
Yeah, he's talking shit.
Yeah.
The Knicks are, I think, not necessarily peaking at a great time. They're 51-31. This is a good basketball team.
Yeah, they are.
They're gonna have home court advantage.
Yep.
Brunson injury, I think, is good. I believe. I'm gonna check right here.
Yeah, I think he just came back from injury. I think he made his way back. I believe, if I'm correct. Although I don't really tune into those games too much.
It seems like he's going to be back for this series.
Okay.
He didn't play. I'm reading ESPN right now. He did not play in their final regular season game against Detroit, but expected to be ready for Saturday's game against the Pistons.
All right, see, so they were good.
So that's good. But it was an ankle thing, which is a weird ankle thing. That could easily re-aggravate. Again, the Pistons are a physical team. We're one Brunson injury from Pistons in 5-6.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And they're gonna try to be hella aggressive with him, knowing that he's got a tender like ankle or whatever the case might be. They're obviously gonna try to be aggressive with him.
They're gonna be aggressive and I think that Brunson's play style. I think that Brunson drew the most fouls of any player this year, maybe second, but I believe he's either 1 or 2, right? He draws fouls. He flops a lot even.
Yeah.
He even flops on defense.
He's small.
He's small. He's smart with his body. He knows how to move and shake around, right? Draw the attention. Against the Pistons in this kind of series, playoffs, Eastern Conference, round 1, he's not going to get away with that so much. You know what I'm saying? The Pistons are going to rough him around.
Exactly. And you don't get too many calls in the playoffs like you do in the regular season. In the playoffs, they allow you to be a little more physical. And they're told. The league is actually part of the reason why they implement that. They let the refs know, this is the playoffs now. It can be a little bit more physical than in the regular season. So, yeah. You want to move on to the Western Conference?
Let's swap it over. The best conference. All right, so R18, right? So as of right now, tonight, again, we're taping this on Wednesday, April 16th. Tonight is the Kings Mavs.
Yes.
The 9-10.
Yep.
The winner will go on to play the 8 seed, the Grizzlies. Then the winner of that will end up going on and playing the 1 seed OKC, right? So, okay, in the 9-10, I'm going with the Kings in this one.
You're going with the Kings?
Yeah, this is the only reason why the Kings traded and they got Levine, they got DeRozan. Yeah. they didn't get those guys for championship hopes. You know, those guys have never taken a team to the championship.
Yeah.
They got them to entertain, to get into the playoffs, to win a game like this.
Give us some highlights.
Yeah, give us some highlights. Light the beam at least once or twice. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is it. The Mavs are depleted. Now, if Kyrie was playing, maybe it's a different story. But
yeah, for sure it's a different story. Now, I don't think it's a different. I think for sure it's a different story with Kyrie, Anthony Davis. I think it's definitely a different story. But yeah, that's not gonna get them too far. Kyrie
it's not
and
gonna
Anthony
get.
Davis. It was never gonna get them a championship.
It wasn't. But don't
Yeah.
forget Max Christie. Just
Max Christie, what the fuck? Who the fuck is he?
Oh my god! But
Right, let's go.
no, I agree.
Max
No,
Christie.
I do like Max Christie though. Shout out
he's
Max
alright,
Christie,
he's alright,
but
he's alright.
he's a very disposable guy. I
Yeah.
wasn't too sad to see him go.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Who do you think is gonna move on from that Kings Mavs and play the Grizzlies in this?
Kings Mavs. I'm gonna go actually disagree with you and go with the Mavs.
Really?
I'm
You
gonna
think
go with
AD
the Mavs.
is gonna have like
I
a
think
big
AD
moment?
is just gonna. Yeah, I think AD might just go off and try to prove his worth, especially to that fan base. You know, that unhappy fan base. And I think if he could do that, he might be able to win over some back on his team. you
Yeah.
know? If he could do that, if he could pull that off and beat the Kings, and then on top of that, if he could get to that winner of 8 and then play the Grizzlies and potentially beat the Grizzlies and get into that 8th seed, yeah, I think the fan base would be really excited to see Anthony Davis pull that off. Was it going to be easy? Hell no. I don't think it's going to be easy, but we'll see. We'll see.
and
I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him.
Me too.
I'm definitely rooting for Anthony Davis to have that statement game, because I understand that Mavericks lost this trade. I'm happy to have Luka, but AD did do a lot for the Lakers organization. He brought us a championship in 2020. So I want the guy to get some flowers out there.
Me too.
Don't shit on the guy so bad. I want him to do his thing and then prove his worth, prove that he's actually worthy of he could carry a team on his back too every now and then.
Yeah, he can. We saw it best. We saw it for 5-6 years.
Yeah.
He is very capable of having a little 40, 11, and 10 game or 40, 15, and 8 game. I don't know, him stringing enough along. I think it's tough for him, if they were to move on, obviously, for them to win 4 against OKC or something would be a little unlikely. But shout out AD. He has great PR. I think LA fans love him. Mavs fans like him and would love him, like you were saying, if they were able to get a win tonight.
Exactly. Definitely. They'll grow to love him, if he can prove that he's, he could live up to those expectations, that they're going to have.
Then I think no matter who does win tonight, Kings or Mavs, the Grizzlies will take care of business. Ja Morant ain't done. I don't think Trae Young ain't done on this season yet. Ja on the Western side, they'll move on. However, I'm gonna say OKC in 4.
Yeah, OKC in 4 for sure. But what do you say? The Thunder, a Boost Mobile bundle, WrestleMania Royal Rumble, Lakers in 5. Let's go. All right, so Nuggets Clippers. Let's talk about that one. I think that's gonna be one of the most and Warriors Rockets too is actually gonna be crazy.
It's a great series in the West.
The West is gonna be way more entertaining than the East. I think when it comes to these series for sure.
I think with Nuggets Clippers, we got 2 teams, same record, 50 and 32. I think that this will ultimately. This comes down to Kawhi Leonard's health, his interest in playing basketball this series. If he suits up for every game, then we definitely have a series. I think that the Nuggets are going to be able to handle business, though. They have the home court, which helps in Denver, especially if anywhere it helps in the NBA, it helps in Denver.
Hell yeah, the Mile High City.
City.
They say that the whole, your breathing out there is different. Your wind out there, if you're not used to training in that facility or in that environment, that it could have an effect on you.
It does. It's less oxygen. That's even in the NFL, the field goals go farther.
When you're playing the Denver Broncos, yeah.
And ultimately, if there's Kawhi Leonard, he's not exactly somebody that is super reliable,
Yeah.
right? He's known to just sit out games, even if
Definitely
they're
not known as the Iron Man of the league.
yeah. And if there's anywhere that maybe he wakes up and decides he doesn't want to fly to and play a game, I could see that being Denver. I think the Nuggets are going to clean this up. You got while Westbrook hasn't necessarily been the most reliable guy down the stretch for them, he has a little vengeance against his old team. He always plays tough against his old team.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Nuggets in 5.
Really? That's crazy. Do you realize that they just lost their head coach and their GM?
I do. That's a good point.
That's the kind of part that's the part that actually is gonna make me go with the opposite team. I'm gonna go with the Clippers. Now I'm gonna go with the Clippers in 6. I will go with the Clippers in 6 just because of that. They're gonna be under a new structure. They're gonna have a new guy come in who might try to like change things up at the wrong time, bro. Because it's gonna be like you're gonna be trying to teach a new system. Or hopefully he's not doing that, because that would be completely insane to try to implement a new system so deep.
Yeah.
Like, and then now you got these guys trying to figure out a new system in the playoffs. Hopefully the coach isn't that slow.
Yeah.
You know, to try something like that and kind of just let them stick to what they know. You know, if he's gonna kind of let them rock out and do the same kind of move in the same direction that Mike Malone had them moving in, I could see them beating the Clippers, but the Clippers are looking crazy right now.
They are looking good. Kawhi's looking great.
Kawhi is that's the part. I get your perspective. He has to stay healthy.
And this is what I'm hoping for Denver. Like you were saying, I hope that their interim coach comes in and ultimately, like, if you're thinking about it, if you're the owner of Denver, I think before you go ahead and make that big decision to fire the GM, fire the coach, you're bringing in Jokic, right? Jokic is the most valuable asset in the entire office. I think you're having that conversation, and I think you're confirming with him, like, this is obviously a bad time for us to be doing this, but let's just get him out. And you, Jokic, are going to need to be just the coach, player,
the floor manager,
everything.
Like the floor general.
Yeah, he knows what to do. They've been here before. There's certain assets on the team. Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon. These guys know what it takes. They know their roles. Jamal Murray, his health might be another up for question.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stick with the Nuggets, although, like you're saying, I wouldn't be shocked the Clippers did it. It would just need to be a monster Kawhi series.
And it would have to be a healthy Kawhi series.
Yes.
So that's a big part of it. Okay, so we disagree there, but we're good. We're good. Let's move on to the Rockets and Warriors. That one should be entertaining because nobody likes this fucking guy. Nobody likes that. What's it? And I can't even remember his name. It literally left my mind.
On the Rockets?
Yeah, Brooks.
Oh, Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks. Nobody likes this guy. He's like, he loves to taunt. He loves to run his mouth. You know, he's like this wannabe tough guy in my eyes. You get me?
Yes.
He's not a Draymond. He hasn't set that, like, you know, I don't know. He's not. I don't see him as that person. But he tries to be that person, you know? In every team he's ever been on, he's always tried to, like, be that kind of like that bully. And I don't know. He always gets shitted on at the end. So,
you know, he definitely does. Mm-hmm. Did you watch, taking it away from NBA real quick, did you watch that Netflix Court of Gold, documentary on the Olympics?
Oh, yeah.
Did you watch that? Like, where it showed Team Canada, showed Dylan Brooks? Kind of made me like him a little more, even though he's a little weird.
Brooks is the Canadian dude.
Yes,
he played for Canada, yeah.
He played for Canada. But, yes, this series, Warriors-Rockets, has a lot of cool, like, just interesting personal storylines. Like, last time that these teams played each other, April 6th, Curry went 1 for 10. He had 3 points the whole game. This Rockets team is tall. They're physical. Yeah. They got guards. They got bigs. They're young. I think they're
Amen Thompson. Crazy defensive guy.
I think they're the youngest. I'm just guessing, honestly, but I bet they're the youngest team.
No, they're not. Youngest team in the league is the
OKC. Huh?
Yep.
Well,
they might be second or third.
So they're up there. They're on the younger side. This is gonna be tough for the Warriors. I don't think we've ever had a 2-7 where a lot of people are favoring the 7.
Yeah. It's crazy. If you looked at the Vegas, I think they're like 2-1 favorites to win
Warriors?
right now. The Warriors are actually favored to beat the Rockets, even though the Warriors are number 7 and they're 2.
And don't forget about Ime Udoka,
Yeah.
the Rockets coach.
Yep.
This is somebody who's not afraid to taunt Steph, get in Draymond's face.
Yep.
This is going to be a fun series.
He wasn't afraid to talk shit to LeBron.
Yeah, he'll talk shit.
He told LeBron, stop crying like a bitch. Remember?
Yeah.
And they ejected Ime. They were like, hold up, bro. You can't say that. Get the fuck out of here.
Which is interesting because
not scared.
If the Rockets do win and the Lakers win, it'll be Lakers-Rockets next series.
Okay. Yeah. And that'll be fun. And Warriors, I actually want to see the Rockets win. Because I'm scared. I'm more scared of the Warriors than I am scared of the Rockets.
Me too. Me too.
Because it's just, I don't want to see the Warriors in the next round. I just want to whoop the Timberwolves' ass, even though that shit's going to be tough, bro.
This is going to be tough.
Anthony Edwards and I actually love it. Anthony Edwards is the reason I bought a pair of Adidas. And I haven't bought a pair of Adidas in like probably 10, 15 years. And I bought a pair of Adidas because of that man. And, I love his play. I think it's going to be an entertaining series. But I see that shit maybe going 7, bro. I'm kind of scared of the Timberwolves.
This could definitely go 7. Good thing Game 7 would be here in LA, which would be sick. Maybe we go if we get a little funding, if we get some crowd donations. But like you said, this one has a Game 7 written all over it.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards, I didn't know. I was just listening to something earlier. Mm-hmm. He led the NBA in threes this year. Yeah,
crazy, better than Steph.
Yeah, better than Steph.
He made more threes than Steph Curry. That's crazy.
So ultimately, I mean, who on the Lakers is matching up against Anthony Edwards? Let's think. Is that who's guarding him? Reeves?
Rui?
Yeah, Rui.
I would put Rui on him. I would definitely put Rui on him. I would not put Reeves on Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is gonna cook Reeves on the defensive end.
He is.
Anthony Reeves, he's just too small. He's too small for and I don't know. That boy's fast as hell.
I'm just looking up something right now. Just how could the Lakers defend Anthony Edwards? They're saying Reeves, Luka. I don't think. Luka.
Not staying in front of him. Luka can't stay in front of damn near anybody.
I remember that this is actually the first time the Lakers have played the Timberwolves in a playoff series since we had LeBron, but we did play a play-in game against the Timberwolves a couple years ago. If you remember, that's when we fouled Mike Conley on the three-point line, and he hit these free throws. It was great, but Lakers ended up winning.
How long ago was this?
This was probably like 2 seasons ago, two full seasons ago.
Okay,
but this is going to be a great series. Anthony Edwards is definitely going to give us the works. He's definitely going to have 2 games alone where I think he wins it himself.
35. I think he's going to go 35 at least 2 games. At least 2 games, he's going 35, probably close to 40 or over 40.
Now as Laker fans, I'm looking. This is the time where I'm really starting to appreciate the Luka trade just even more because I'm worried about the series.
Yeah.
But imagine, I don't know, if we just had AD and LeBron going into this, I'd be really worried.
Yeah.
But the fact that we have Luka, LeBron, it doesn't seem likely that we're gonna lose this.
Yeah. That's where we were at.
Yeah,
and
the best series.
Yeah, I think that is gonna be a great series. Besides the Knicks and Pistons one, and the Rockets Warriors actually. I think in my order, obviously, me being a Laker fan, I'm going to say the best series is going to be the Lakers series just because I'm emotionally invested in that as well. And then I would say Warriors, Rockets. And third, I would say is Pistons, Knicks. It's going to be the top 3 ones that I'm going to be invested in.
I got that same group. I got that same order. Mm-hmm. So I think that the Lakers Wolves has the potential to be the most impactful series long term. Mm-hmm. Just because, and again, I always kind of bringing it to this kind of bigger picture rankings players. If you think about it, this has the potential for a passing the torch situation. Like that court of gold alluded to when it was there's that clip where LeBron's until I see somebody who I think really can take it over from me, I'm not going to pass the torch. Then it cut to Anthony Edwards pulling out of his driveway in the Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards, if he just has a monster breakthrough series where he just establishes himself, has multiple 40-point games, and wins it, outright beats LeBron and Luka, this would be a very memorable series in NBA history.
Yeah, it would be memorable, but that's not the type of memory I want to have, bro. You can't even talk about that with a Laker jersey on, bro. You basically assuming or coming with this Yeah, nope. I'm not looking at that picture, bro.
Okay,
You know
I
how
like
you say
that.
You
I
want to
like
paint the
that.
bigger picture? You can paint that bitch as big as you want, but I ain't looking at that picture. I'm looking at the Lakers winning this series. By all means. Yeah, I don't even want to think about. Yeah.
Me neither. You're right. You're right.
I
I
don't
think
even
with the
wanna think about that
Lakers, securing a 3 seed was way more than expectations. Obviously, this season exceeded expectations. Had a lot of great surprises for all Laker fans.
Absolutely.
I think that LeBron, everyone's peaking at a great time.
Yeah.
Luka's flowing. I think that ultimately I'm gonna go with like Lakers at 6 or 7, but the only
Lakers
don't like I said, Anthony Edwards. He's a scary one to watch, and he's had a few playoff exits and a few playoff wins. Like, don't forget he knocked out the Nuggets last season.
Yeah.
I don't think he personally is very scared of the Lakers.
Oh hell no! I that's the part that I would agree with you definitely. Man, that boy don't fear nobody. Did you see the way he was talking to Obama? Did you see that clip?
I did. That's pretty disrespectful. What did you think of that?
Y'all boys better knock it off. I'm him. I'm him to Obama, like talking to the ex-president like that. And I was just like, yeah, that boy, he ain't scared of nobody. He gonna run his mouth. He gonna say what he gotta say. I love that about him, though. I actually love that he has that character, that demeanor, where he like, I'm him. I might not be that guy right now, but I'm definitely coming up. You know, like I'm gonna be that guy at one point. You know, and it's good to have that mentality. Like Kevin Durant said in that clip, it's good. He's supposed to feel that way. He's supposed to talk that way. Because if he don't feel that way about himself, who else is gonna feel that way about him?
That's true.
You know. So yeah, I agree with that.
So I think like the only way the key for, if we're looking back and the Timberwolves win this series, the way for that to have happened is Anthony Edwards having an absolute great series.
Yeah,
if we're
amazing.
thinking the Lakers, like how are they gonna go ahead and win this? Like I think it's pretty simple. We need good Luka LeBron games.
Yeah. And maybe like some good supporting cast AR games.
Exactly. Like AR needs to have a game.
Yeah.
I think like down low, if we think about it, it's like Gobert, you know, he's
a defensive presence.
He's a defensive
really
presence,
Yeah.
but he's gonna have to go out and guard. You know, the Lakers don't have a huge big, which means that he's gonna have to go out and guard maybe like a Jackson Hayes, or he's gonna have to guard a Rui who can shoot a 3 over him,
and can beat him off the dribble.
Yes, so I think like spacing the floor. The second we can get Gobert out of the paint, get LeBron, Luka cutting, driving. I think the Lakers. There's an easier path for the Lakers winning this.
Oh yeah, definitely, because we have so much of a supporting cast with the offensive side of the ball that they do not have. They don't have that dynamic group like we have it. You get me? So I definitely see us coming out on top, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy.
Plus, Ant is dealing with the baby mama drama right now.
I heard about that. Yeah.
So that that's
like paid her like $1 million. $1,080,000.
I think like
right?
even more.
Okay, I thought it was like 1.8 or 1.08, but it was like a little over $1 million that he paid the woman to like not have nothing to do with the kid at all. So it's kind of crazy that people are like, some people, you know, obviously are completely against it. Some people are supporting it because he basically told the woman, I don't want to have this kid in the first place. Like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, so he paid the full amount of child support.
The full amount of child support up front for the 18 years just so that he doesn't have to deal with this woman or the kid, which is fucking insane.
See,
like,
but that's so...
don't gotta pay for it.
That's so, you know, thinking of Anthony Edwards, you know, I'm going to try to put my... Like, if you're... I could see you, if you're Anthony Edwards, thinking, I don't really need this kid in my life. But that's
he's already got 4. I think he has like 4 or 5 already, bro.
Okay, he's got 4 or 5. But that's an half Anthony Edwards kid. That kid has like a 25% chance of going to the NBA or the NFL. Yeah. So I mean that's a kid I'd want to invest in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, like maybe I'd sign up for that child support.
Unless the mama's like 4'6" or like some shit like that.
Maybe.
Then it's gonna be like,
maybe he had to judge it and it was like, like the mom's parents are short too or something, so he's looking at the gene pool. He's like, you know I'll pay the full.
I just get away from me. I just we'll leave that alone. But yeah, man, Andy, man, I want to thank you for being here,
my man. Thank you for having me.
Co-owner of Underground Magazine. You know, we're happy to have him here, and you know, I think this was a great, great having his takes on these NBA playoff pictures and everything, and you know. Is there anywhere, they can find you? You know, you want to shout out your IG or something, you know, that you might, another project that you might have in lined up or something?
Yes, thank you. Once again, I'm from Underground Magazine. Our Instagram is at Underground Magazine. You'll find us. It's the alien. You'll see like a Reentry, Josh, Sensei Kai, a lot of mutual followers.
Yeah.
We have our next event coming up on May 2nd. We have a lot of people from Reentry, part of it. K-Boy is our big headliner.
K-Boy is dope.
The Blueface Boys are performing.
Yeah, they hard too.
That's our next magazine that's coming out. That's issue 14. That's our next big thing. You guys should come. It's a free event in downtown LA from 7 to 11. Friday, May 2nd. We got performances. We got vendors, clothing, food, tattoo people. Yeah. We got weed vendors. We got mushies vendors, you know. Again, they can't sell stuff, so it's going to be for legal reasons, but they're going to be maybe giving away some samples, maybe some just some, you know, clothing, things like that. There's going to be a lot of really dope things going on, a lot of good food. So come out to that. It's a good place to meet us, meet me, see Josh, see the whole team. Let's get it.
We could chop it up about this NBA stuff too, you know, if you want to see us on May 2nd. But yeah, man, this is Game Time Grind, and we are out of here.
Let's go. Yeah. Oh my God. That was great, bro. That was great. Thank you. Thank you. No problem.